All right, guys, welcome back. In last week's video, we talked about the newly acquired project, the O2 Ford Lightning. It was a little bit of a quick video. I got straight to it. Your finger's right in the camera. It was a little bit of a quick video. I got straight to it and kind of gave you a teaser clip at the end. But I had to kind of bum rush and get the build done. And yeah, I'm going to give you a walkthrough now of what we did. I kind of built my dream truck here. It's a dream setup. I'm super stoked on it. And I'll give you guys a walkthrough under the hood. And then we'll check out some other mods I did and some future plans with the truck to come. So come on and check it out. So there it is. If you remember from the last video, we started out with the built 5.4. We did a manly rod and piston. Had some minor port work done to the heads. Had that swirl dam in the combustion chamber taken care of. Went with some camshafts. And I kind of let the cat out of the bag at the end of the video. And we topped it off with a nice 2.9 Whipple. I went with the 2.9 because I think the 3.4 was a little aggressive for what I was going for, and this is kind of the best of both worlds, where you get great power and you also get, you know, I don't want to say low maintenance, but yeah, low maintenance. Everything else was pretty much, you know, piece it together and get it done. I had the fuel system I showed you in the last video. I went with 3 of the 4 Innovations pumps. The fuel pump system just obviously works off the 4 controller and it's trips. So that'll handle fuel. I got more than enough fuel for the setup. Come around here. I went with the 2010 Raptor fans, and I wired them up on a controller as well, just for cooling. These fans do push a lot of CFM and they hit quite hard. So I had to kind of wire them strong. Battery is kind of taking a lot. And because of that, because I have so many systems relying on good power, we also went with the KMJ 250 amp alternator here. I like their stuff. I use it on my Terminator build, and I just powered it differently. I go directly to the battery with the main power, and then I wire the voltage regulator up kind of my own way. But that all seems to work quite well. Maintains 14 volts pretty well with no issues there. And some of you guys with the sneaky eye, you can already tell that the truck is running on its own system here, from the pigtail here at the map sensor to some of the pigtails at the injectors. So come on in the cab, and I'll show you a couple of things we got going on in there. So I really went nuts and had the truck running on a Holley Terminator X. At my job, I installed quite a few Holley systems, and I love the amount of control you have and all the safeties you can use to protect your project after you invest all this money in there. So you can see here, I've been doing some tuning on my own, and I have a great startup tune. Obviously, you can hear how it starts, and the IAC takes over. So yeah, this truck is running entirely on a Holley Terminator X. Dash is really great because you're allowed to put so many parameters on of things you want to watch. And you know, I wired it properly so everything else in the truck, you know, still works. It still works as it should. My radio still works. And with the Dash 2, you can tap into the electronics and get all your directionals, your high beams. So everything is there and everything is fully functional. I just went nuts and kind of built the truck that I always wanted to. We'll take it for a ride down the street, and you guys can, I'll put you on the dashboard here, and we can hear the engine in the truck, hear everything kind of shifting and working together. It's really fun. And it just makes everything that much more dependable and manageable to me and for what I'm looking for. Drivability is big. You want to always make power and go nuts, but at the same time, you also want to be able to be in traffic and control your fans and not overheat. Be able to watch everything and make sure your air-fuel ratio in a build like this, where you're making more boost and you're using more fuel, you don't want to go lean. You don't want to be rich. The Holley just takes care of all that. It's a really, really great system. So yeah, that's the truck so far, running on its own management. Holley. I love the Holley stuff. For you guys that ask questions and are wondering if you can do it, it's really straightforward. And one thing is you can actually leave the factory ECM in the truck if you want to control the trans with your factory wiring. So I know of a few guys who use the factory ECU to just control the trans because it needs to see basically a TP signal. And they lay the harness in and they lay the Holley harness over that. For my trans, I went with a built trans, a Circle D converter, and a Punisher valve body. I really like what his stuff does. The 1.2 is a little scary on you. It'll knock your teeth out, but you just got to adjust pressures. And I'm able to do that because I'm running my entire 4R100 off of the US Shift system. I got with Bowman and the guys over at US Shift, and I explained to them what I wanted to do, and they set me up with their US Shift controller. And now my trans and engine are 100% standalone, and I have total control over the transmission, from torque converter lockup, downshifts, upshifts, pressures, certain firmness for gears. I can control everything. There's even like a ballistic thing you can do there, so you can pedal the throttle through boost, and it won't it won't upshift into the next gear. It's really, really wild. I'm kind of building the truck that I've always wanted to. Yeah, it's right now I'm tuning everything in. I'm putting the brake-in miles on it, but I'm gonna hit the dyno soon, get this oil out, get some fresh oil in, and we'll see what kind of numbers it makes. So now you can finally see the truck out in the light. This is what I got. I got a great deal on it, and I was stoked to get back into a Lightning. Like I said, I missed my white one ever since I sold it, so this one was quite affordable. First thing I had to do was throw the period correct wheels on. I got a set of those from LMR, and put some MagnaFlow mufflers on it, I believe. I had to fix a check engine light, and other than that, it was good to go. There's some, being in New England, you get a little bit of surface rust, but nothing really scary. Everything works. I got the truck with the LEDs and all that stuff, so slowly but surely I'm building the truck I wanted. So with this setup, I'm using, I believe it's a 4-pound lower and the factory 4-inch upper. So I'm wondering what you Lightning guys out there expect to see for boost with the 2.9 Whipple. I was hoping for around 16 to 18 pounds. I think that in a street application tuned quite right will give me just the right amount of power I need. I have full control over the trans, so that's great in the sense that when you want that hit as soon as you gas it, it's always there. It pulls hard, and the converter and obviously the camshafts help all of that too for the mid-range. So if you guys can leave down in the comments what I should expect for boost and power numbers. I'm used to the 03 Cobra stuff and the 4-valve stuff. I spent a lot of time with, even the Coyote Whipple stuff. I'm familiar with that, but this is my first time doing a really, really built Lightning, so I'm interested to see what I can make. Really, I'm in love with the American Racing exhaust kits, and I would like to put their full length, their full system on here. So 1 7/8 header, and the 3-inch all the way back to the mufflers. I'd like to do a full kit there. And Stifler's makes a long bar system for these trucks. I'd really like to do that now, because once this trans starts putting power to the ground, I got a feeling I'm going to start rolling the rear end. So one of my concerns when building this was, when you put it in gear, am I going to be able to have control over the IAC? Am I going to be able to kick it up when it's in gear with the load from the auto trans and the converter and the cams? Is it going to lug it? All these worries. I went with a GM style IAC on a Ford setup. I rewired that, and that's worked great. It's literally done everything I've wanted, and it's just spending time with the tune, spending time with the IAC, and man, this truck pulls hard. It's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to give this thing a couple of pulls on the dyno. But yeah, it's just, you can hear the gears. That's just so enjoyable right there, to be able to get in the truck and just pop it in gear and drive like that. And the great part about having the Holley and having everything on its own is you're completely standalone. So you get rid of all of that 20-something-year-old wiring, and you know, somewhat of a limited operating system. I know that the factory ECUs, there's guys making 800 to 1,000, you know, whatever it is. There's an argument for everything, but to be able to have much more control, much more command. My fans are ground pulsed. My fuel pumps are all triggered in stages, which is great. So you never really, you're not beating the hell out of that third pump, kind of demanding it all the time. My intercooler pump is controlled. Everything, I have control over everything. Using a larger fuel injector sometimes can be really tough to tune in. I mean, I think I have FIC 1000s in here, and yeah, you know, you just put the data into the Holley. You place the data in where it calls for it, and you start writing your bass tune there. And we had some problems. It was a little tough to fire up, but we also had a brand new motor, you know, a brand new system. Everything was new. Took us about an hour to get it to fire up and be happy on its own. But once it did, I mean, the proof is in the pudding. Here you are. I'm driving this every day, putting miles on it. Air fuel right now, as I'm talking to you guys, is 14.4, and I'm commanding 14.5. So I mean, that's the Holley just working, doing its thing. I have the self-learn enabled above a certain RPM, so I'm not fighting the constant idle, and you know, everything is just the way it's supposed to be. I got great oil pressure. The fans come on and off. I think the hottest this truck gets is 187, and then you know, the fans shut off. They do their thing. The fans come on with the AC. AC kickup works. Everything is working the way it was in a factory vehicle. It just takes you manually telling it how to work. And it's just, like I said, it's the truck I always wanted to build. The only thing I didn't do, and it's my own fault, but we kind of ran out of dollars. The envelope got a little small. The truck, when I bought the truck, it had long tube headers on it, great. But it had like a Mickey Mouse kind of 2.5 to 2.25 in some places exhaust on there. Not really desirable for the big power number. So I'm gonna do some hustling on the side and hope I can get up the money to do the American Racing full kit, from the headers all the way back to the exhaust tip. And I love the American Racing stuff. I spoke with Sal the other day at American Racing. He gave me my price, and I just gotta, you know, save the money and get that ordered up. It's a 12-week wait, which is tough, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. So I'm gonna take this thing home and get some more miles on it, have some more rips, but man, I'm just super stoked on this truck. It's the truck I always wanted to build, and I built it, and we're gonna have some fun with this. But yeah, man, this is just, check this thing out. Hitting hard. So yeah, guys, I mean, that's the overview on the Lightning now that it's built. I'm sorry I couldn't bring you in all the way through every step, but it was just quick, something I had to get done. It's got a Whipple built motor, cams, a badass transmission, and I'm on Holley. It's gonna be a lot of fun, and I'll take you guys with me when we dyno it, but should be a blast. We'll talk soon. Peace.